Welcome back. We'd just like to remind you that channelstv.com has more information for you, and on youtube.com/channelsweb you can also watch our videos. You can watch us on your mobile device via your browser or download the Channels TV app for Android, iOS and Windows devices from their respective stores. Besides giving you access to news updates, the Channels TV and Channels 24 app have an eyewitness feature with which you can share pictures, videos, or news of happenings around you. Just install the app, then tap and swipe to reveal the menu and follow the instructions. In the south-south part of the country, federal lawmakers from the Delta Ijaw area are concerned about the danger posed by the environmental situation in Tuomo community, Burutu local government, where it was hit by a landslide last week. They say the situation remains a threat to life of residents, especially with the rains coming and becoming more consistent, promising to bring it up during their next sitting.
It takes some doing to extract oil from the palm fruit. But the result is well worth the effort, as the chaff is separated from the end product. This occupation, as are many others in Burutu local government area of Delta State, is threatened by erosion and landslides. The idyllic scenery shattered by cracks in the earth, like an accident waiting to happen. And to prevent further damage, lawmakers of Ijaw Delta, true to their promise, are joining the people of Tuomo to call for a swift response from the government.
I am using this opportunity to call on the NDDC, the Niger Delta Ministry, the Delta State Government, the federal government of Nigeria, to attract to this very important community. Because if nothing is done, this ancient community of Tuomo will be taken away. Natural disaster.
The women of the area in this gathering, however, are not dancing away their sorrow. Rather, they are rejoicing with the men at an empowerment program where over 30 people are beneficiaries of startup capital and running capital for their businesses in the community.
We are producing oil and we have been feeding the state. Government also employed youth in this area, but unemployment rate in this area is very, very much.
The lawmakers, traditional rulers, and Niger Delta activists present consider government attention as necessary to eliminate restiveness and spur development.
To build takes time. To destroy is easy. So we will continue to make this place conducive for them to operate so that they will not give us an excuse again that is it because your place was restive. That's why we cannot develop your area.
But the community's joy at the gesture runs the risk of being truncated by Mother Nature, unless concrete steps are taken, so the government won't be seen as turning their backs on the people and rowing away.
The National Commission for Refugees, Migrants and Internally Displaced Persons has distributed more than 200 grinding machines to victims of the March 2017 clash in Ile-Ife, Osun State. A communal clash between the Hausa and Yoruba communities had left some dead and many injured, property destroyed and thousands displaced. The Federal Commissioner of the Commission, who gave out the items, commended those still living in the area for embracing peace.
It's been 1 year since the clash between the Hausa and Yoruba communities living in Ile-Ife, Osun State. The clash, which occurred in March 2017, left bitter pill in the homes of many people, as many were injured. Homes and property were burnt, leaving many displaced without a place to lay their heads. Although the cause of the clash is still very shady, the same people who could not see eye to eye have gathered together at the Ife Central Local Government to receive the team from the National Commission for Refugees, Migrants and Internally Displaced Persons. Officials of the Commission are here to present to the people over 200 grinder machines to empower victims of the clash.
As we do this handing over of these grinding machines, we want you to use them judiciously, use them to empower yourselves, use them to empower your families. You can form cooperatives, you can do it single, but you must use them to empower yourselves so that when we come back next time and we see that there is growth, it is a motivational factor to increase whatever the Honorable Federal Commissioner and the Commission wants to do.
Representatives of both communities expressed their appreciation, but say they've learned a lesson from the clash.
You know, we felt government has really forgotten us. You know, for like 1 year, we have not had anything, and we were asked to submit our names and things and documents to the town hall, and up to now, we have not had anything. And that has been the grief of our people. But if this is coming, it is telling us that government has not really forgotten us and that we could still be compensated.
Actually, we learn a lot of lessons, that there's no profit in any crisis in this life. We learn it, and we are now, thank God, we settled. We are living in peace. We are living amicably with each other now.
We've learned one other thing, that is, we must guide our territory very well. We must ensure that we don't give room to some people to come in and, disrupt our peace. That's one great lesson that we have learned.
No doubt, life has returned to the Sabo area of Ife. But there are still trademarks of the clash. Homes destroyed are still under reconstruction 1 year after. And going by the people's cry, that is an indication that help is still very much needed.
From the southwest, let's bring you news from the south-south. About 10,000 youth recently employed by the Bayelsa state government are being trained under the state's Employment and Expenditure for Results program. Governor Seriake Dixon had said the government's policy of building a critical mass of experienced future leaders must be implemented. He added that the youth in the state and the Niger Delta must be ready to take center stage.
The Bayelsa state government has trained and employed about 10,000 youths in state employment and expenditure for results program. The state governor, Seriake Dixon, had said the government's policy of building a critical mass of experienced future leaders must be implemented. He added that youths in the state and the Niger Delta must be ready to take center stage. The State Employment and Expenditure for Results scheme under the Bayelsa state government is aimed at employing youths, train them in skills so that they can subsequently train others.
So I want you, the younger people, to take this message right down to the grassroots. And all of you, apart from being ambassadors of our government, ambassadors of restoration, and ambassadors of this change, you also need to identify and groom younger leaders down the line, up to your families, down to communities, in your wards and in all your local government areas.
The leader of the scheme says it is a promise kept by the Bayelsa state government as they see youths become confident, ready to face the future. A lawmaker describes the scheme as timely, say this gesture by the Bayelsa state government in training about 10,000 youths of the state, to many is a promise kept.
Some people live life as if there is no tomorrow, and so they engage in vices. We try to speak to them through mentorship, money management, entrepreneurship, to say that they can create things for themselves. They should believe in themselves. We give them a ray of hope that there is hope as long as there is life, provided they have believed in themselves and they are ready to work. So these are the kind of training we give them to make sure that their value orientation, that there is dignity in labor, for them to earn a living is earned.
The objective for the drive is to ensure that they are able to have some form of people to come to participate, particularly those who are not employed into any form of ministry or government, and to ensure that they reduce the unemployment in society.
This gesture by the Bayelsa state government in training about 10,000 youths of the state, to many is a promise kept.